Are you already feeling that knot in your stomach when you think about the upcoming holiday dinner table? Your mom says, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me?" Your sibling tells the whole family a twisted version of your private conversation, that one relative asks why you're still single when you're finally having kids, or why you're still at that same job. And somehow, you end up apologizing even though you're not sure what you did wrong. Some families don't love you. They control you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. What we call difficult family members aren't just accidentally hurtful. They use specific psychological manipulation tactics, and most learn these tricks so early in life, they don't even realize they're doing it, but you're about to realize it. And once you see these 7 dark psychology tricks, you can't unseen them. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what they're doing, and the exact boundary system that stops it. As Dr. Brené Brown says, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. Today, we're going to get very clear. Before we decode these manipulation tactics, quick question. Have you ever felt guilty for setting a boundary with family? Drop a comment below. You're not alone, and if you're new to Mind Decode, welcome. We expose the psychology being used on you, even by the people closest to you, so you can take back control. Hit that subscribe button, because understanding manipulation is your first line of defense. Let me tell you about Rachel, 32 years old, having a successful career and a loving partner. But every time she visits her parents for the holidays, she feels 15 again, anxious, guilty, and always in the wrong. It took her years to realize her family wasn't just difficult. They were using specific psychological tactics to control her. The moment she understood the game, everything changed. Today, I'm showing you the 7 dark psychology tricks toxic families use. And at the end, I'll give you the exact boundary system Rachel used to protect her peace. Trick number 1, guilt tripping, weaponizing sacrifice. This is the most common manipulation tactic, and it sounds like, after all I've sacrificed for you, you can't do this one little thing? I gave up my dreams so you could have a better life. Here's the psychology. Guilt is one of the most powerful emotional control mechanisms because it creates what psychologists call a debt narrative. The idea that you owe them something that can never be fully repaid. It's not a request. It's a hidden threat. If you don't do what I want, you are a bad and ungrateful person. The truth? Parental care isn't alone. Healthy parents don't keep a running tab. Toxic ones do, and they cash it in whenever you try to set a boundary. Every time Rachel tried to leave early from family dinners, her mother would sigh and say, "I guess I shouldn't have spent 3 days preparing your favorite dishes." Rachel would immediately feel crushing guilt. Even though she had driven 4 hours just to be there, the key to handling guilt tripping? You acknowledge without accepting the debt. Something like, "I appreciate what you've done for me, and I'm still making the choice that's right for my life." Then you hold firm. No arguing, no over-explaining. We'll cover the complete boundary system at the end of this video. Trick number 2, gaslighting, rewriting reality. Gaslighting makes you question your own memory and sanity. It sounds like, that never happened. You're too sensitive. You're remembering it wrong. Here's the psychology. Gaslighting targets your trust in your own perception. Over time, when someone consistently denies your reality, you start to doubt yourself. Maybe I am too sensitive. This is exactly what the manipulator wants. For you to stop trusting yourself and start trusting their version of reality. Instead, Dr. Robin Stern, who wrote The Gaslight Effect, explains that gaslighting happens in stages: doubt, defend, then depression as you lose trust in your own mind. Rachel's father was a master at this. She'd bring up hurtful comments he made, and he'd respond with, "I never said that. You're always twisting my words. You need to stop being so dramatic." The counter to gaslighting? Trust your memory. You can simply say, "We remember this differently, and I'm not going to debate my own experience." Then you walk away from the conversation. Trick number 3, triangulation, using others against you. Triangulation is when a family member brings a third person into a conflict instead of addressing you directly. Instead of resolving it with you, they say, "Well, I was just talking to your brother, and he agrees with me. He also thinks you've been distant lately." Here's the psychology. Triangulation serves 2 purposes. First, It isolates you by turning family members against you. Second, it allows the manipulator to avoid direct confrontation while still punishing you. Dr. Murray Bowen identified triangulation as one of the most destructive patterns in dysfunctional families because it prevents honest communication and creates permanent divisions. Rachel's mother constantly did this. She'd call Rachel's sister and complain, "Rachel is so ungrateful. She barely visits." Then, when Rachel and her sister talked, there was already tension, even though Rachel had done nothing wrong. The response? Refuse to participate. When someone says, "Your brother thinks you're being selfish," you reply, "If he has a problem with me, he can talk to me directly. I'm not discussing this." Don't defend yourself to the whole family. Stick to the boundary system I'll share at the end. If you recognize these manipulation tactics in your own family, hit that like button. It helps this information reach people who desperately need to understand what's happening to them. We're about to reveal 4 more tricks that are even more subtle. Trick number 4, playing the victim. Reversing blame. You try to set a boundary. "Mom, I've asked you not to criticize my parenting choices." Instead of acknowledging your request, she responds, "I guess I just can't say anything right. I'm just a terrible grandmother. I was only trying to help." See what happened? The spotlight shifted. Now you're the attacker. They're the victim. And you're suddenly comforting them instead of having your need met. Here's the psychology. This is called DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. The actual perpetrator positions themselves as the victim, making you the aggressor. This works because most people have empathy. When someone acts hurt, we instinctively want to help, even if they hurt us first. Rachel would try to address her father's criticism, and he'd immediately tear up. "I'm sorry, I'm such a terrible father. I should just stop trying." Then Rachel would spend the next hour reassuring him, her original concern completely forgotten. The counter? Don't take the bait. Stay focused on the original issue. You can say, "I'm not accusing you. I'm telling you how your behavior affected me. Can we talk about that?" Trick number 5, just joking. Covert aggressive jabs. This is the favorite tool of the passive-aggressive, an insult disguised as humor. "Wow, going for a second piece of pie? Bold move. Still single? Wow. You must be really picky." The moment you get upset, they deploy the defense. "What? I'm just kidding. Can't you take a joke?" Here's the psychology. The joke is the delivery mechanism for the criticism. It gives them perfect, plausible deniability. They get to land the punch and then blame you for being hurt by it. This tactic ensures they never have to own their cruelty. Every holiday, Rachel's uncle would make jokes about her weight, her dating life, her career. When she'd look hurt, he'd laugh. "Come on, I'm just teasing. You know I love you." The response? Call it out calmly. That felt hurtful, not funny. Don't argue about whether it was a joke. Simply name what you experienced. The complete boundary enforcement system is coming at the end. If you're finding value in this, subscribe to Mind Decode. We expose the psychology being used on you so you can protect your peace. Now, back to the manipulation tactics. Trick number 6, moving the goalposts. Nothing is ever enough. You finally get the promotion they wanted. But why didn't you get a better title? You visit for the holidays. Why don't you visit more often? Nothing you do is ever enough because the goalpost keeps moving. Here's the psychology. This is a control tactic designed to keep you in a perpetual state of striving and failing. By constantly changing expectations, toxic family members ensure you never feel successful or confident. Psychologically, this creates learned helplessness, the belief that no matter what you do, you can't succeed. Rachel experienced this with every achievement she got her master's degree. But will you get your PhD? She bought a house, but it's not in a great neighborhood, is it? Nothing was ever celebrated. The solution? Stop seeking their approval. You call it out. I did what you asked, and now you're asking for something different. I'm not chasing moving targets. Then you define success based on your values, not theirs. Trick number 7, the silent treatment. Emotional withdrawal as punishment. The silent treatment is deliberate withdrawal of all communication and affection. They stop speaking to you, ignore your presence, give one-word answers until you apologize or give in. Here's the psychology. This is emotional abuse because it triggers abandonment anxiety. Humans are social creatures. Being excluded activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Dr. Kipling-Williams found that even brief experiences of being ignored cause psychological distress and lower self-esteem. Rachel's mother was an expert at this. Anytime Rachel set a boundary, her mother would go silent for days, sometimes weeks. Rachel would panic and eventually apologize just to end the agony, even when she'd done nothing wrong. The counter? Don't chase them. You can say once, "I'm here if you want to have a conversation, but I won't apologize for something I didn't do." Then you go about your life. Now let me show you exactly how to enforce all of these boundaries. The Mind Decode 3-step boundary method. Here's what changed everything. You cannot change your family. You can only change your response. A boundary is not a rule to control their behavior. A boundary is a clear line for your behavior. It's a calm statement of what you will do to protect yourself. Step 1. State your line. Use a clear, calm I statement. I'm not willing to discuss my finances. I feel uncomfortable when you comment on my body. We remember this differently and I'm not debating it. Step 2. Announce your consequence. This is not a threat. It's what you will do to protect yourself. If you bring it up again, I'm going to change the subject. If you continue, I'm going to step outside for some air. You're giving them fair warning. What they do next is their choice. Step 3. Enforce it. The moment they cross the line again, you must calmly, quietly, immediately do exactly what you said you would do. You don't argue. You don't explain again. You just do it. Stand up and get water. Change the subject. Leave the room. This teaches people that your words have meaning. Rachel started doing this. When her mother guilt-tripped her, Rachel said, "Mom, I appreciate everything, and I'm still leaving at 6 p.m. as planned." Her mother escalated, and Rachel calmly said, "I'm going to step outside for a minute." And she did. Over time, her mother learned that guilt-tripping Rachel no longer worked. Rachel had changed the game. You can too. Conclusion. So there you have it. 7 dark psychology tricks toxic families use. Guilt-tripping, gaslighting, triangulation, playing the victim, just joking, moving goalposts, and the silent treatment. These tactics work because family relationships come with built-in vulnerability. You're wired to seek your family's love and approval. Toxic people exploit that wiring. But now you see the game. And awareness is power. As Maya Angelou said, "When people show you who they are, believe them the first time." Setting boundaries with family is hard, but honoring yourself is not dishonoring them. Protecting your mental health is not betrayal, because love doesn't require fear, guilt, or control. Remember Rachel? Once she understood these tactics and applied the 3-step boundary method, everything shifted. She stopped chasing approval that would never come. She stopped explaining herself to people who weren't listening. She stopped sacrificing her peace to keep others comfortable. She built a life where her mental health came first. You can do the same. Here's your action plan for this holiday season. First, trust yourself. Second, use the 3-step method every single time. Third, accept that you can't control their reaction, only your response. Fourth, you don't owe anyone a relationship that costs you your peace. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This holiday season, find your strength. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe to Mind Decode for more psychology insights that protect your peace. Drop a comment. Which of these 7 tricks have you experienced the most? And what's one boundary you're committing to set this holiday season? Until next time, keep decoding your mind. You deserve relationships that respect you, even if they're not with the family you were born into. You can create the family you choose.